In our interview, I spoke to a yam farmer who is also one of those involved in the yam export program, Mr. Yandev Amabai. Mr. Yandev Amabai, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
The Minister of Agriculture announced recently that the yams exported to the U.S. were of poor quality. So tell us what you know about, what happened.
No, actually, when we met in the ministry, we discovered that there was a mix-up. The interview was conducted with Ades, who exported yams into the UK. Even Ades, from what I heard from the interview, he was complaining of the delay by the freight company to move his yams to UK. So most of them got rotten. So my own yams left Nigeria on the 9th of July, and they got to Europe end of August, which was approximately 40 days. And the agent, it took just about 48 hours after quarantine had fumigated the yams. The agent cleared them from the wharf, and they were delivered into our warehouse.
You said 40 days. Is that the normal time frame?
Yeah, normal time frame here by freight is between 30 to 40 days.
So yours
though
arrived.
I think there was some little delay, because when the ship eventually berthed in Texas, that was at the peak of the flood in Texas. So the offloading took some 2-3 days until the flood reduced before it was cleared.
Were you surprised about what happened to the yams exported to the UK?
Well, normally, yams are perishable items. So if not properly stored or while in transit, normally we use reefer containers, not the ordinary containers, because these are temperature-regulated containers. So while in transit, if they are not plugged to power, there may be heat in the containers, and it's likely they may rotten. But that doesn't mean the yams exported are poor quality yams. Because as far as what I saw the other side, particularly in US, where I took my own yam, our yams are of better quality, more sweeter, more delicious than the Ghanaian yams that have been exporting into US. If you even put side by side the Nigerian yams and the Ghanaian yams, you won't even price the Ghanaian yams.
So your yams, went through the normal procedure?
Yeah, they went through the normal procedure. Quarantine. Normally, one of the first conditions of exporting yams into the U.S., it must be certified by Quarantine Nigeria Limited in Nigeria here, and you are given a PITO certificate. Then when you get to U.S. there, they take it to their quarantine district to fumigate it before it is taken to your warehouse. Some of the challenges we had was the high cost of freight to these countries. I think what the federal government, particularly Minister of Agriculture or Minister of Industries, what they need to help us do is to, bring the shipping companies together, tell them the importance of Nigeria diversifying to other areas, and then negotiate the price with us so that, we've not been exporting. So these ships they're just starting this kind of a process. So the cost of exporting is high. So they need to talk to this shipping line so that we can have a better price for the shipment. Otherwise, as of this time, it's a bit on the high side. And also, if the necessary agencies which are needed, which we need to facilitate the process of the export, if they can be put in one place for us, so that as your yams are getting into the port, they go straight into the river container. Because, the longer these things are outside, particularly yams, when you expose them to heat from the sunshine, as the sun is hitting on the yams, automatically it's as if you are cooking it. So if not put in the proper place where it will have proper ventilation and other things, they easily get rotten.
But we're supposed to have acquired this sort of education before taking off, right?
Yes, I think like it's a learning process. But now that we have done about 1 or 2 trials, I think we have we are knowing better now areas where we can correct ourselves. Like now, if you get quarantine, who are supposed to certify these yams okay for export, you get them right from the port of where you are moving your yams to the port, so that they check the quality of yams you are exporting. It's okay, it tallies with the international standard. Then, as you are getting into the port, it's just a formality. They come and inspect what you have brought. Then the other arms of government who are involved sees that what you are loading into the container is exactly what is supposed to be there. So with this kind of arrangements on ground, your products, as they arrive in Lagos, they stay less. Maybe within 24 hours to 48 hours, these things are moved into the container. Right. Once they are in the container, the reefer container, even if it doesn't leave the port immediately within 2-3 days, the reefer containers are connected to power, so the yams don't spoil.
Let me just ask you this. The minute we had the chairman of technical committee, by the way, on the yam export program here last week, he mentioned a couple of things, apart from the fact that perhaps the government did not do, their committee did not do the normal homework that should have been done. He said the issues had to do with storage.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And again, the minister alleged that there could be some sabotage. Do you agree with that?
Well, sabotage, yes, because I think this market for many years has been dominated by particular people. So with the federal government trying to introduce it now, I think some people may also want to sabotage it. But I think if we are strong enough, we also stand the test of time. But what I was saying about synagogues, that is the storage area where you say the chairman of our technical committee spoke about. The synagogues are partnering with some of us. They are now building this prototype yam conditioning centers for us in our local places of collection. So if these conditioning centers are in place now, we don't have that fear again, because as you are bringing these yams from the farm, you are putting them, after treatment, you put them into the conditioning centers.
And everything goes fine.
And everything goes fine. As long as they remain there, nothing happens to it. And then we'll be pleading with federal government also, if they can help us or maybe stand as guarantors for us to reach out to these banks to, empower us, so that if we can get vehicles that are also temperature regulated, then as these yams are leaving your warehouse or your conditioning center, they go into the temperature regulated vehicles, not these ordinary vehicles that heat, the sun and everything.
Get the right type of transportation needed.
The right type of transportation, so that as they are getting into the ports also, the river containers are there, then you load them straight away. In that case, there will be less damage to the yams. But you can't rule out the possibility of a few getting spoiled, because they are perishable items.
Right. Well, I know there are lots more information, but we're pressed for time. Thank you so much, Mr. Yandef Anabai, for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for your meals as always. I'll take this one from Oladipo Ekundayo, who wrote in from Osogbo, the Osun state capital. It says, the social media should support the government's export efforts, and every pitfall should be taken as a stepping stone. I remembered in my primary school days when we were taught of cash crops. It's now a mirage. Well, let's all support the government's export program to succeed. The government should reciprocate this act of patriotism by the judicious use of proceeds from the sale of benefits for Nigerians. Well, thank you, Ekundayo. Well, keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handle on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. Now, don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezeke. See you again.